very much. Thank you.
So the fence was delivered over a week ago now, but we haven't done anything with it yet, simply because it's been too hot. And Matt hurt his back as well, so we couldn't really do much out in the garden. But what we're going to try to do is get up early one morning and actually fit it before the sun gets too hot. But what we did do today was pop along to Bunkers Hill Garden Centre, enjoyed a cup of coffee and a cake in their little sort of honesty cafe, and there's some lovely seats set out in a shady area, so it was really nice just to sit there before we had a browse around. And we got a few more plants to go in the pots which are in front of the kitchen window. Now the reason being is because the deers are getting a little bit cheeky and coming quite close to the house and nibbling at some of the plants. The plants in the border are safe, they don't come too close to the house, but they have started venturing towards those pots in front of the kitchen window.
I think it's because it's shaded as well, isn't it? So they feel a little bit more secluded down there, don't they?
Yeah, so what we've done is a little bit of research on plants that muntjacs just don't like, and that's what we bought at the garden centre today. So let me show you those. So these haven't been out here for long, they've probably been sat here for about half an hour in the sun, and already they're starting to droop a little in the heat. And it is again one of the hottest days today. I think it was 29 degrees when we were coming home in the car from the garden centre. So another really lovely hot day. But what I've got here is this digitalis called Dotty Purple and this is I think they're also known as foxglove, and they're really beautiful tall plants. I'm sure you all know what they look like. And then we've got a Salvia Nemorosa caradonna there, and we've got other salvias in the garden, and they're those plants that grow really big and they've got quite woody stems on them. And I think I've said a couple of times now that they are actually a little bit too big for the border, so we'll be trying to move those. But this is a slightly different variety. Really lovely tall purple flowers on it there. And then the antirrhinum or snapdragon. And again, some of the flower heads are dying off, so they'll need to be sort of pinched away. But that's another lovely sort of very pale purple and creamy flowers there. So I think all of those go together, and this was a purple one as well. So we're going to put that in the middle pot, and then those at either side. I think that's going to look really nice. So whilst Matt is actually planting up those pots, or replanting them, I thought I'd just show you around the border. So the sedum is getting really nice now. The flowers haven't yet appeared, but they will soon, and they're lovely sort of small pink flowers. The hydrangea's doing quite well. I think this may be a little bit too hot for it. I think it needs a bit of shade as well, and around this corner and along the back border are the really hot areas of the garden. And that is also one of the plants that the muntjac deer like to nibble on. They have come sort of under my craft room window before, which is just there. But because I'm normally in there, they don't always come too close, so that one hasn't suffered too badly. I can just see how dry everything is looking at the moment. There's 2 rosemary plants there, and one of them, this closest one, is doing really nicely, but the other one's gone a little bit brown, so I'm not sure why that is. And then coming around, this is the plant. It's actually a verbena, this purple one. And it's just far too big to be sitting in the border there, so I really do want to move that once summer is over, and probably move it along this fence. But it's a lovely plant, and the butterflies really love it as well. So obviously don't want to do anything with that at the moment, but it is really strangling everything else that's in the border down there, and it's difficult to get to all the other plants as well. But just if I just sort of go in a little bit closer and show you, that's the Sweet Williams. They've just gone completely brown, so I think they're probably into sunny a patch as well. And then I've got sort of small shrubs in there that are getting lost behind the taller plants, so this really does need sorting. This I think is actually a wildflower anyway. You can see how butterflies love it around here. So again, this taller purple I would like to put under the tree down there in our sort of wild area, but again not until the summer's over now. But I love seeing these butterflies fluttering around on this, and I can see them from my craft room window as well. They keep catching my eye as they're moving around. The salvia as well, this is the one I was talking about, where it gets a really sort of woody stalk on it, and I would like to move that out of the border, just fell off the path, just because it is sort of overtaking everything in there. I like to stick to sort of more shorter, plump, rounded plants in the border, so that you can really see everything, and at the moment all of these tall ones are really sort of overtaking it, and they just look messy. But I think against a fence they're going to look so much neater, and they're going to grow better as well, because they're actually going to have something to grow against. Butterfly there. The lavender is really growing over the path. I do love that. It does mean you just have to sort of brush past it as you walk past. And then a lot of these are going over. And these, I can't remember the name of at the moment. I always remember the name and I just can't think of it today. But the heads have sort of gone now. So I probably just need to deadhead those. And I'm sure it's just a case of cutting off the dead heads, but I like to look up and see how you should do it, whether you should go down to the next leaf or just cut the head off. And I know I've sort of read different things on different websites, but I will have a look just to see what you're supposed to do with them. I got lots of lovely bedding plants from my sister. That's some cosmos down there. They seem to be growing okay. That's a delphinium there. We've got another of those at the front. Okay, a little bit overgrown here with this bush, so that does need trimming back or tying back against the fence a bit, but we've still got those fence panels to replace there. So if we come around the corner here, see the lupins have now gone over, and I want to salvage all of these little seed pods if I can. They just all sort of look crisp and burnt, and it's a shame because they looked beautiful only a few weeks ago, so they've only just gone over. But coming along here, we've got some really nice colour. They're beautiful. And then the cosmos. Again, really need to get out here and do some deadheading. And this is just having not been out here for probably just a week or so. Coming along here, there's a small phlox there, which I took as a cut-in from the larger one, which is just along here. Hydrangea there. These campions, which I absolutely love, and they go really nicely with the phlox. Yellow again has gone over, but when that was all yellow it looked really lovely against the purple of the phlox there. And that's what I want to do more of next year, is really sort of colour coordinate and think about what's going in and, you know, what it's going next to, and really think about the colour combinations rather than just picking plants we like and just sort of putting them in any sort of gaps. And now we're sort of getting to know as well what grows nicely in which areas and what needs to be moved, so we're sort of learning every year, I suppose, as you do with gardening. The hollyhocks are looking really nice at the moment as well, although again a little bit overgrown. And this lovely sort of pale peachy yellow colour, really beautiful, and these do really well all around the village. Everywhere you go you see them in all sort of different colours. Really beautiful. I just wanted to turn back around and show you that other hydrangea there in that pot. I think it looks really nice. And at the garden centre they had them in all colours, but we seem to do really well with the pink here in our garden. I think that's something to do with the soil. the salvia. Just starting, well, not really to go over, but it's got less flowers on it now. This hydrangea I think has suffered because of the deer. I think they've been around here chewing at the heads. Pelargonium there. And then I've put some more of the cosmos in, just in these areas under this quince. And around here as well, a few more of the seedlings. Oh, I know she gave me some zinnias as well, so I can't remember what they are on the corner there. But Matt's busy then putting those new plants into the planters, and we really like having those there because, as you can see as you come around the corner, that's the first sort of lot of colour that you see. You're doing a good job there. So the potting table here as well is looking nice and colourful. Those geraniums are looking beautiful, got 3 different colours in there. I remembered the name of those other plants around the corner, the valerians. I always remember that. I just forgot it that time. Those verbenas are a plant that the deer don't like, but I couldn't find any of those at the garden centre today. But I'll look for verbenas as well. Some more of the plants that my sister gave me there, which we need to go in. And a neighbour gave us some tomato plants as well, which are back there. So hopefully soon we'll have some nice fresh tomatoes to come and pick as well.
So the panel's been outside probably for about a week, maybe a week and a half now. But I just want to show you outside how much it's actually drooped and what we've actually got to do. Oh, this way. So under here, believe it or not, is the old fence panel. It's all completely rotten away. So what we're going to have to do is just basically cut all this ivy back, because there's an actual fence here already, an old fence with a like a chicken wire over the top of it. So we're going to try and keep that, and then we're going to put the fence to this, or probably just inside there. And then we have to put a piece in here, we think, to, like we've done here, just to try and
just to block the gap
that
up.
gap up, yeah. It should be quite a fun job. I think a lot of it probably come off in one piece. If we just put along here, I think all this will just probably fall off. Like that. So basically I'm just going to, probably with my other shears and my clippers, cut through all this. And I think a lot of it will just peel away. All being well, should come away in one. And there you can see there's the original fence there, which is still quite steady with the chicken wire behind it. This is the main power lead into my workshop and garage. But that's armoured, so that should be fine. We're going to keep away from that anyway. And then we're going to put the fence up to this. Fence panel up to this, and then it should block off all that area there. So here you can see a little bit clearer where the old fence post is here, so we'll probably have to attach the actual new panel to this here, because I don't want to get into removing this and changing all that around. But it should be alright, just put it to them and just screw into this, and maybe remove this bit here, and then we'll put some paneling in this side to make it look a bit neater. I think Just keep chopping that through. I'm not supposed to be doing this today, but I'm not doing it in the morning. But
well, we did come out and give this all a good shake earlier, didn't we? There's nothing
yeah, there's no
in
birds
it.
nesting in it or anything like that. I don't think it would be in this, it's too dense.
Careful of that wire.
Yeah, it's armoured anyway.
I know, but I still worry.
It's armoured, fully armoured. You can hit that with a chainsaw and it'll be fine. I think I'll go and get my clippers and just have a quick
Clip.
clipper.
Okay.
Still doing it with a pair of secateurs. So, cut that piece there, and basically it's just all falling off with the weight of it on top. So, should a bit of brute force. Okay, so having assessed it again, I think we're going to have to put the panel on the inside. All this is going to have to be removed. So we've got a lot of cleaning up to do, get rid of all this ivy. And then we can put this on the inside. The butterfly. The wiring will probably stay on this side as well. All this is going to have to come away, clear all this. Just we've got a lot to do.
Okay, so Matt's cleared away the ivy, almost all of the ivy on both sides of the fence there, and we've just popped the panel outside, and he's now got to just clear the final sort of clumps that are in the way, so we can then edge the fence panel into place and then attach it to the remaining sort of wooden slats. We did try to put it on this side, but there wasn't really anything to attach it to. And I think it's actually nicer to keep that old fence on the inside of the garden and keep the outside looking nice and neat. So that is the next job then, really, to clip away. Matt's got his large clippers there, but to clip away the remaining sort of stubborn bits of ivy and roots. Yeah.
I may have to take this one out, this post out. This is bowing out like that, it's pushing the fence panel out. So I think the only way I can start to alleviate that is remove that for now. But I think we're going to need another fence panel there. That one's all gone as well. So as you can see, done. It was a bit of a pain actually. I had to cut this piece of wood out, like I said, because it was completely bowed. Replaced it with another piece, just a piece I had hanging about in the shed. We really need to replace the other panel as well at some point, but we'll worry about that at a later date. I had to move the hinge over because the post is now square, but the gate wasn't, so the gate and post are now square. So they now lock quite nicely. And I walk this way. Just use a bit of old pallet wood to actually panel this area in, because there was a big old gap where the old post was, so I've actually panelled that in. But once this is all painted and stained, it'll look a lot better than it is now. It looks a little bit Heath Robinson, but it's okay. Outside looks quite nice. I did trim some of the rose bush back, it was a little bit out of hand. I'm pretty happy with it actually, didn't go too bad. The worst bit was getting rid of the ivy. I'm going to mow all this when it's a little bit cooler, so I can actually mulch all this and get rid of all this, and then hopefully we'll get some grass growing back and make it look half decent again.
Okay, so that's it for today's video, and I think Matt's done a great job of the fence. It feels really good to have it there now and makes the garden feel altogether more secure. Now in the next episode we'll be heading along to the garden centre again and just getting a few more plants to fill in some of the blank areas. So we'll see you then.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
Bye!
Bye!